with the justification of preventing destabilization attempts of armed groups. The measure will be enforced from Saturday, February 8th to Monday, February 10th, which implies that the presidential elections will take place on February 9th under this presidential measure. For its part, the Constitutional Court declared unconstitutional on Monday the executive decrees with which Cynthia Gilbert was entrusted with the presidency, all in a context where 21 victims of forced disappearances in the hands of Ecuadorian armed forces have been reported, without the president having made any statement on the matter. And on Monday, the Haitian National Police, together with the Haitian Army, continued operations against gang members in the commune of Kenskov after 10 days of clashes. According to local media, despite the efforts of the police, the gangsters managed to move into the center of Kenskov. The commune authorities ordered police and military officers to remain deployed in the territory and urged them to reinforce measures against the gangsters. For his part, the commander-in-chief of the Haitian police, Ramon Normil, has held meetings in recent days with specialists to discuss new strategies to put an end to the violence in the region. Welcome back. A Palestinian combatant from the resistance movement hit to death 2 Israeli soldiers and injured 6 others in response to the genocidal offensive mounted by the Zionist forces on the northern occupied West Bank. Local media reported the clash broke out on Tuesday morning near the teleSUR checkpoint eastern Tuba city. Sources detail that the Palestinian combatant barricaded himself inside a watchtower at the checkpoint to wait for the right time to open fire, in which he was killed. Afterward, Israeli authorities ordered the closure of nearby roads and the dispatch of helicopters to transport the injured to hospitals. And the Israeli siege against the city of Jenin continues for the 15th consecutive day, leaving at least 25 people killed to date. Zionist forces blew up some 20 residential buildings in the eastern part of the Jenin camp in the occupied West Bank. Local authorities denounced that Tel Aviv is carrying out a campaign of forced displacement, which affects some 15,000 Palestinians. Authorities also warned that the occupation troops have no respect for international humanitarian law, since their attacks also targeted health centers and members of the press who were covering the news. And the Israeli occupation forces remain deployed at the Rafah border crossing to prevent the return of Palestinian citizens to the Gaza Strip. According to local authorities, Israel is not only preventing the return of citizens of Gaza to their homes, but is also blocking the departure of the wounded to medical centers and hospitals abroad where they would receive medical treatment. The restrictions of movement of the Palestinian population constitutes a violation of the ceasefire agreement reached between Israel and the Palestinian resistance movement, Hamas, which entered into force on January 19th. And several Middle Eastern governments reject the U.S. president's proposal to relocate Palestinians from Gaza to neighboring countries. Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, Iran, Egypt, and Jordan condemn what they describe as an ethnic cleansing plan. In response to Trump's statements, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi said that the transfer of Palestinians out of their territory is not the solution, and the establishment of a pre-Palestinian state recognized throughout the world must be promoted. For his part, Jordan's Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi stated that his country's stance against Trump's plans would remain firm and unwavering.
Venezuela commemorates the 33 years of the civic military rebellion against the government of Carlos Andrés Pérez, action that was led by Commander Hugo Chávez Frías on February 4, 1992. President Nicolás Maduro took part in the commemoration act, addressing the march that had gathered in the capital, Caracas, joined by First Commander Cilia Flores and by Minister of the Interior, Peace and Justice Diosdado Cabello. The president highlighted that Commander Chávez's February 4th rebellion was the rebirth of the liberating projects of a long line of leaders and generations in the region. In this context, he also stressed that February 4th marked an awakening of the Venezuelan and a starting point for the process that is still alive today. Earlier in the day, addressing the commemoration of the February 4th civic military rebellion against Carlos Andrés Pérez dictatorship in Venezuela, Ministers of Interior, Justice and Peace Diosdado Cabello stressed the need to honor Commander Chávez's deed and the changes it brought to the nation.
Honor to whom honor is owed. Certainly, our country changed after that February 4th, and that humble but firm man emerged, who was able in 1 minute to send a message of hope for the future to the people. That a battle had been lost, but that the war was just beginning.
Likewise, the Venezuelan minister recalled that the military forces, together with Chavez, confronted the empire amid the economic crisis which ravaged the country by that time.
We rose up against those who governed here, that is to say, we rose up against imperialism, because in the end it was the imperialism who governed here, all our natural resources handed over, the country mortgaged, on the way to privatizing all.